What's going on? It's your friend and mortgage broker David Carr here, and I am with my friend Gahl, who is so generous with his time today. Gahl, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast, and I'm excited to have a fun conversation with you today.
It's going to be a blast. So Gahl is a very awesome dude. He comes from Scottsdale. So you spent, the last 20 years living there?
Yeah, almost going on 30 years now, and I love it. Love it out here.
So I think it's fair to say you're a native there, yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, perfect. Because, there's a lot of questions I have about Scottsdale. There's a lot of perceptions, and I kind of want to find out what's reality, what's perception. For example, is it just this ultra luxurious location, only certain people live, or what's the deal?
Yeah, honestly, it's a mix. You have all the demographics. It just depends which area of Scottsdale you go to. You have it all. You name it.
Okay, so is there any hidden pockets there where that maybe there's still opportunities to get in?
Oh, absolutely. I would say one of the biggest opportunities is close to what used to be Paradise Valley Mall. There, they built a Whole Foods. They're building a Lifetime Fitness.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of opportunity there.
I think I've seen that. The Lifetime's almost complete, or I think there's a waiting list. Okay.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay, so do you work primarily there, or do you cover certain areas?
Honestly, all over the valley.
All over the valley.
You name it.
Very cool. Very good. Is there a specific location in the valley that you work more, though?
For sure. So North Scottsdale, I would say, is my niche. I have a lot of clients that look for second homes there, vacation homes, and also single family homes. It just depends.
Okay, just depends on the type of client.
Exactly.
Very cool. And then where do you find a lot of your clients? Are they, referrals, leads? I know a lot of different, realtors have different ways of, gaining clients.
Totally. There's so many ways. You talk to one realtor, you talk to the other. Everyone does it differently. So my main source was open houses when I first got started.
No way.
And that was a phenomenal experience because you learn to put yourself out there, talk to strangers, and really build your pipeline.
Who told you to do open houses? Was it like a team lead, a mentor of some sort?
Exactly, a team lead. I have a sort of a real estate coach.
Okay.
And he said, do open houses as many as you can, as often as you can, and you'll meet people naturally. And so that's what I've been doing.
Sounds like you trusted the process.
100%.
And did he give you a certain structure to follow with the open house, or how'd you approach them?
Oh, absolutely. There's different strategies to everything in life,
yes.
Right? And one of the main things when you're in sales is you don't want to come off as pushy. No. So for example, when someone walks into an open house, I'm not going to ambush them at the front door and say, hi, my name's Gahl. What are you looking for? You want to buy this house,
I know that feeling. Yeah.
Exactly. So you just stay sitting, whether you're on the couch or in the dining room table, and you let them come to you. You put on music that is nice, and you make it a calm environment.
Okay, so it sounds like you had the strategies and the techniques of how to do it.
Exactly.
Very cool. So then, is there any speaking of strategy, do you have a strategy when picking an open house? I know there's some that may get less traffic than others. Is there any specific strategy that you personally use when picking an open house?
Oh, 100%. So first of all, I look for something that hasn't been on the market for too long.
Okay.
So usually the threshold is maybe 30 days. And then I also look for something that's close to main cross streets. Let's say, for example, 64th Street and in Thunderbird. That's going to get a lot of traffic, especially in the winter when you have all the snowbirds coming into town, going towards Kierland, Scottsdale Quarter. So a few different strategies.
I like it. Yeah. Okay, so nothing's left up to chance. There's always,
Exactly.
There's always some strategy behind it.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So then it sounds like most of your clients came from open houses?
Yes, that's true. Open houses and Sphere.
And sphere of influence. Very
exactly.
Cool. Very cool. So then when it comes to these open houses, how do you, stay in contact with these people? Do you have a CRM or any strategy for that?
Yeah, that's a great question because the main thing is conversion, right?
Exactly.
You meet someone, but if you don't talk to them again, nothing's going to happen.
Forget about you. Exactly.
Yeah, so just like everyone says, the magic is in the follow-up. Usually a deal converts after the 6 or 7 follow-up, even 12 follow-up, some people say. So you have to stay in touch. To answer your question, CRM, in the beginning I was just using Excel, just old school.
Oh, yeah.
And it worked for me, and you slowly advance with your systems as you progress through your career.
Okay, that's awesome. So then Walk me through your first deal, because I feel like for everyone, that's probably one of the most exciting times, right? They see their work, their, the countless hours, the dream turned into something tangible, something that they can hold. Can you walk me through what that first deal felt like for you?
Absolutely. So my first deal was fortunately a sphere deal. It was someone that heard that I'm doing real estate and he wanted to look for an investment property. And so we looked around town, we explored different areas, and then we narrowed down to Scottsdale Road and Shea Boulevard because it gets so much traffic and it's a perfect place for a rental property. And so we looked around. I found a fantastic condo with a heated pool, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, etc. He loved it, especially that it was remodeled, it was turnkey. And so after a bunch of arm wrestling between the buyers and the sellers, we managed to find a price point that worked for everyone. Everyone was happy. And that's a successful Airbnb that I help run until this day.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so you also help run Airbnbs?
Yes. So I help a bit with property management. It just depends on the area and the client.
Interesting. Because I did see on your social media there was something you were like unpacking a bunch of boxes. I was curious about that. Okay, was that the condo?
Exactly. So that was a strenuous process. It took a lot more hours and time and money than I expected to set it up. But yes, that was that condo.
Interesting. So then, can you tell me about like the Airbnb market in Scottsdale? Is it still profitable? Are people still buying Airbnbs? Let me rephrase this. Is it still worth getting an Airbnb in like 2026?
Great question. So that also depends on the area and the type of property you're buying. For example, I have one client who's looking for single family homes in the Kierland area between 1.5 to 2.
Yeah.
And he looks for places that people can throw parties and he can charge a ton. So for that, there's still a market. For the places that are a bit smaller, it really depends. I would say things have slowed down for Airbnb, and long-term rentals are probably a more apt decision to make nowadays.
Interesting. Now, with your clients, are you able to show them all that info? Like, hey, if you buy this, you could potentially make X amount of money from Airbnbs. Is there like software, any data that tells you that information?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is software. There's a few different websites that allow you to do that. I've found that if you contact the property managers that specialize in that area, you have a better actual financials that you can present to your potential buyer and see the real picture of what's going on.
That's game right there. I want to, I want to just call that out because I never even thought about that.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've helped manage and run one of your clients' Airbnbs, and you live in Scottsdale right now, right?
Yes, I live over by Frank Lloyd Wright, the 101, and I love that area.
Okay, well, speaking of that area, if you can give me some insight, from a native Scottsdale, resident, what are some restaurants, things to do that you would recommend to someone? Say someone was coming from out of town. Where would Gahl bring them?
Oh, that's my favorite topic.
Yeah.
Food is like my love language. So if someone comes into town, if you're looking for Mediterranean, for example, the Babel Mediterranean, it's over on Pima in the 101. You'll never have better hummus, falafel in Arizona.
Oh,
hands down.
Let's go.
The best. And then if you're looking for Chinese, there's Flo's Chinese. This place is an icon. The lady that started it is still at the front desk there. She's been running it for 30 years plus. Phenomenal. Fantastic food.
Interesting. Yeah. I've been to the Bells. I love that, but the Chinese food I've never heard of. So that's gonna go on my list. Thank you.
It's a must. Yeah.
And then what about like things to see or do? Because I know Scottsdale's got besides nightlife, it has hiking. There's just so much. So if there's anything like stands out to you, what would you recommend?
Yeah, amazing question. So you can't see it by the way I'm dressed, but my favorite thing to do is to spend time outdoors. So any chance I have, I'll be hiking on a mountain. I'll be checking out a sunset, going to the pond over at the Greenbelt.
Nice.
It just depends. But what I love especially about the valley is, you drive 10 minutes, 15 minutes any direction, and you have a mountain that you can hike and just enjoy the sunset.
That's true. What's one of your favorite mountains?
My favorite is obviously Camelback. Obviously. But you have to get there early to get parking.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, the McDowell Mountain Range, I think, is beautiful and full of nice views.
Have you ever done Camelback multiple times in one day?
No, I've never done.
No?
Have you?
No, but I've seen one guy. He passed me on the way up, and then he went down, and then he was going up again.
No
I was like,
way.
this guy's a machine.
Jeez.
So I give, kudos to those people, because that was, the most strenuous hike. Because this is my first time going on Camelback, and it said it was like a mile and like some change. So I was like, okay, it can't be that bad. But, no, it became bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest misconception about that hike. People think 1 mile, easy.
No, it's just,
You're in for a surprise.
The elevation is just insane.
Exactly.
It's insane, but I love it. So, okay, so then we have, we talked about some of the hiking and the restaurants to eat in Scottsdale. It sounds like you don't just specialize in Scottsdale, but there's some other areas. Are there any other areas in the valley right now that you see opportunity that you can kind of, spill some game about?
Oh, for sure. I would say one of the biggest opportunities that you can still get at a good price point is probably North Phoenix area.
Nice.
There's one manufacturing plant that has moved there a few years ago called TSMC, and with them, all their vendors are moving to that area, and so that area is blowing up over the next 5-10 years. It'll be unrecognizable.
Interesting. Okay, so that was North Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so are they still like building there? Is it?
Yes.
Okay, so there is still opportunities, like you said, to get in.
Tons of opportunity. They've built now 2 out of the 6 factories they plan on, and then a bunch of vendors, like I said, are moving there as well, and unlimited construction going on. Costco decide they're going to build their Marriott, you name it. So if you buy up some land and you build something, it'll go up.
Nice.
It'll go up.
So is there new builds there, or is it all like, resale homes?
Yeah, it's a mix of both. So the resale homes, they've skyrocketed over the past few years. And then the new builds are doing very well. We have some of the biggest names building out there.
Interesting. That's awesome. So it's good because I, don't live too far from that area. So I think I'm going to, catch some of that appreciation that's going to slide on over to my side.
Definitely. Yeah, it's expanding in all directions.
Interesting. Okay, so that's some game right there. North Phoenix is the place to look for. So another question I had, as far as North Phoenix or, anywhere in the valley.
Right.
People have this misconception that, it's not even worth buying a home anymore. Yeah. Can you kind of debunk that and, try to tackle those questions for those, people who may have those misconceptions?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people think that they're priced out of a market, but that's definitely not the case. Oftentimes, once you have a conversation with your local lender, someone that you can trust, then you'll find that it's totally attainable. Whether you're looking in Scottsdale area, Phoenix area, Glendale, you name it. It's totally possible.
Interesting. Yeah, because I mean, as a lender, I deal with people who, they have these misconceptions. I don't know if they've seen something on social media, the news usually is like what crushes dreams, where they're like, okay, no, I can't buy a home. It's there's no hope for me. I'm like, let's talk. Let's just have a conversation.
Exactly. Talk to someone like David and tell him your stats, and he'll tell you that it's possible. It just depends what you're looking for.
Exactly. And I've noticed there's an uprise and more like down payment assistance too that kind of helps these first-time home buyers. Have you ever specifically seen any like first-time home buyer grants or anything on your side?
Yeah. So for my clients particularly, we haven't used any of those, but I am aware of those programs, and there's others that make it completely possible for first-time home buyers, which is amazing.
Yeah, there was one thing that I learned recently that unfortunately is currently suspended, but it was one of the coolest little hacks that I learned. But there's this thing called a mortgage credit certificate.
Oh, what's that?
What it is a tax refund that you get as a first-time home buyer on your first home that you buy here in Arizona. Right. It's a $2,000 credit that you get back every year for paying your mortgage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then you think about it. You have a mortgage for, let's just say, 30 years. You get $2,000 every year. That's $60,000 over the life of it. You're going to pay your mortgage anyway.
Yeah,
but you have to apply for it, and you have to get approved before you close on the home. Currently, they stopped it here in Maricopa County just because funding ran out. But other parts of Arizona is still able to get this. And these are the things that people don't talk about.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
I wish they did.
I know, right? I'd be more attuned because again, I think this generation, our generation. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're seeing it different, but a lot of people are just not interested in buying homes anymore. Not as interested. They're losing hope. It's sad.
It is true. I'm seeing it among my friend group, among people I work with. They believe they can only buy a home when they're in their late 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And it is sad because you don't have to rent for so long. Instead, you could be building equity, right?
Exactly. That's the goal, right?
Yeah. Amen. The American dream, right?
That's right. So speaking of that, What would you recommend to someone who's like a first time home buyer then? I know we kind of spoke about you speaking to a lender, but is there anything else that you recommend that they get like in check, like maybe narrowing down a neighborhood or anything like that?
Totally. So I would say it's okay to rent in the beginning, because that's how you get to know the different areas, where your people are, where your community is, your local gym that you like to go to, your church, etc. So I would say spend the time to look at different areas, experience them. And the biggest thing is what you mentioned just 5 minutes ago, which is don't listen to the media and don't listen to AI. Instead, talk to local people that you can talk to face, because the media is going to put anything negative out there they can, because it's clickbait, right?
It's true.
People click into negative news, but instead talk to your local lender, talk to your local realtor and people at the gym, etc. And you'll see that it's completely attainable and there's many opportunities out there.
I love that. So it sounds like you're really like based in community and you have like you have your community.
100%. It's everything in life is about people in the end of the day.
That's it. So what would you recommend to someone who's like, maybe from out of town, they're just moving to Phoenix? How do they find their community? Is it just stepping into those gyms, stepping into those churches to start having those conversations? Or is there, like a platform or anything that maybe they could, help expedite that process or help find their people faster?
Yeah, that's an important question, because truly it's all about community, right?
Exactly.
And so I moved away for a few years and then I moved back, and a lot of my friends moved away to different places all over the country, right?
No.
Because we're a very globalized generation now.
Yeah.
And so I would say one of the best platforms is probably Meetup. You look on Meetup for your favorite interests, whether it's hiking, whether it's chess, poker, etc.
Oh, no way.
And you find your people on there, you meet up with them, and naturally you build a community. And also a gym. I know gym is important for you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Tell us about your gym, how you meet people there, etc.
Yeah, so it actually started, I actually work at one now. That's how much I love it, right? So there's a gym, Vasa Fitness, that I went to because it was close to my house, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually, kind of heavy, just not having like a great time with my physical physique. So I was like, okay, I got to do something. This is the heaviest I've ever been. So I just started going to the gym, and they offered like these group classes because I hate to say it, but I was half-assing the workouts when I was doing it myself. So
happens. You need that accountability.
It
right?
does. So I was like, okay, I'll join the group class. If I'm working out with a group, I'm not gonna, half-ass it if someone's there. So I did that, and I just kept doing it and kept doing it. I was having so much fun. I was like, okay. They asked for, does anyone want to be an instructor? Because they were short instructors. I just raised my hand quicker than they could even finish the sentence. I said, put me in. So I ended up becoming a group fitness instructor. So right now I'm a group fitness instructor at Vasa Fitness. Yeah, I love it. It's actually a great lead source too, because I talk to people and I tell them what I do. I always make sure I mention what I do, and it's just a great, because you see like people's confidence. It's like you see them happy, and that's one of the best things when you see like a whole group of people or someone who comes in thinking that they weren't going to do the workout or they can't do that, and then you see them like actually be able to. You just see like a light in their eye. It's like almost like they discover like they have the ability to do that, and there's no better feeling.
I bet it must be so fulfilling. You see the change firsthand, essentially.
It is, and then what makes it even better is when they come back, because then it's like, okay, they really like this. So I love it. I teach Vasa at Tuesdays at 8 a.m. at Vasa Fitness on 43rd Avenue and Thunderbird, and then at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. At that same location, the 43rd Ave and Thunderbird. So hopefully I can maybe see you one of these days.
I would love to. That sounds good. Sounds like a challenge.
It is.
Up for it.
There we go. But yeah, that's really important to me. And like you said, it's a great way to find your community, meet up. I didn't even think about it. I've used it before, but I've never really, I guess, utilized the platform to its extent, because I didn't know you could search for certain interests.
Totally, absolutely. Also, Eventbrite. You can search
too.
for hiking groups, etc. You name it.
That's awesome. Yeah, because those are the people you want to hang out with.
Exactly, like-minded individuals.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So I love that. Also, when you say hiking, Eventbrite, and all that, is there any groups that you lead, or any plans of leading a specific group in the future?
Yeah, good question. So currently I don't lead any, but I join them actively. And I do have a plan of creating a networking group of different hustlers from all over the valley, each one in their respective field, and just being there for each other, uplifting each other, and keeping each other accountable, to do better and to just become better people.
I like that.
That's
I'll
the goal.
definitely be on the lookout for that. I think that'll be a great, value add.
Absolutely. It would be awesome to have you on board.
I love
for
to.
sure.
So if we can go back to, some of the parts of your travel, because it said you traveled out side of Scottsdale, you came back for a little bit. Can you tell me more about that? Where did you go? How long were you go? I know you actually just traveled recently. You went to Latin America, so I'd love to know all about that.
For sure. So recently, in the past couple months, I've started exploring Central America. So I went to Guatemala and to Panama. And those were very eye-opening experiences because they're so different than what we know and what we see in our daily life.
Oh,
right?
I'm sure, huh?
And so that was fun. Got to practice my Spanish a bit, which was lovely.
Bueno is good.
Hablo un poco de español,
there you
pero
go.
necesito practicar más.
There you go.
¿Y tú?
I'm learning right now. You gotta come to class with me. Interlingua. There's in-person Spanish academy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I should check it out.
You should. There's no better way, I think, just to actually just practice than. That's what they're paid to do. The teachers there is to teach you, and if you say something stupid, they're not gonna make fun of you. Because to this day, I'll still make grammatical errors left and right. But hey, I'm practicing. I'm not gonna stop.
I love that, man. It's all about learning. You got to keep learning throughout life.
That's right. So, what were some of the eye-opening experiences that you saw in Panama and Guatemala?
Yeah. So I would say one of the main ones is when you go to the more rural areas, you realize how fortunate and blessed we are to have what we have, right? You go to some areas of the world and they don't have clean water.
Wow.
They don't always have a proper roof over their heads, AC. I mean, just before this podcast, I asked, hey, can you turn up AC? They don't have that luxury in a lot of places in the world. So we have to be cognizant of that and remember that whenever we have something we're complaining about, if we're stuck in traffic or anything like that, these are not real problems. There are bigger problems in the world, and we're very blessed.
That's right. And sometimes I guess you just have to, change your perspective and really realize how lucky we are just to be where we are and have the things that we have. It's you could say we won the lottery in a sense.
100%.
Yes.
That's why travel is so important. It opens your eyes. It enriches you in ways that a regular education couldn't.
No, there's no better teacher than actually seeing it for yourself.
Exactly.
So are those the only other, or have you been to other countries besides the Central America ones you were just mentioning?
Yeah, I've been to I haven't counted, but probably more than 20. But
that's amazing.
The most recent place that I've lived was in Taiwan before I moved back here, and I lived there for a couple of years, and that was also an amazing experience.
Oh, you're gonna have to talk to our podcast manager, Jeff. He's actually a Taiwanese native.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So you're gonna have to chat about that.
That's funny. Good to know.
Well, I know what I remember you vaguely mentioning that you lived in Taiwan. So can you explain more about that? Because you were living there. You're saying?
Yes. Wait, I can't believe that Jeff is from Taiwan, but yes. So in my previous career, I was a chemical engineer for a manufacturing company.
Interesting.
Just manufacturing the most advanced computer chips, and so I learned there how to do it for a couple years, and then moved to North Phoenix and helped start the first factory here, which was an amazing experience.
The TSMC, the one that you were mentioning earlier about the building you're at?
Exactly.
So what a full coming of circle moment.
Totally. So that's why I mentioned it, because I got to live here in Taiwan. I saw what they do. They build an entire city around their factories. So what's happening in North Phoenix is unbelievable. You have no idea what we're going to see there in 10 years from now.
Interesting. So in Taiwan, is it already built out, their idea? Okay.
Absolutely. Taiwan, you go anywhere. You go to Tainan, Hsinchu, all over the country. There's incredible factories with such hardworking and good people.
Interesting. So that seems like it's a little bit of a career change. So maybe just a little bit.
Absolutely. Yes, it was a big pivot. Everyone was shocked. They said, "Are you crazy? You just studied in university for 4 years for this, and you went to Taiwan? What are you doing?" I said, "I love the Taiwanese people I work with. I love the company. I love what we do. At some point, though, I wanted to work more with people.
Sure.
Something that's more people-centric, where I get to meet new people, communicate, help them in their different goals." And so that's why I pivoted to real estate.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, that seems like you're a true extrovert at heart. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I love people. You know how some people recharge alone? I recharge around people.
Okay, so part of the reason why you say, hey, you got to find those meetup groups, find your people.
Exactly.
So you were like, hey, I need my people. I got to find them.
Exactly.
So when you were living in Taiwan, because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, English isn't the first language there.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you didn't have your people, or were you able to find a group out there? Because I don't think you probably had a hard time, did you?
So, 我会说一点中文, which means I talk a bit of Mandarin because over the time there, I took an hour of classes every day to improve my Mandarin. And so that's how I was able to connect with the locals a bit better. Because where I lived in Tainan, in the south of Ireland, you won't find people that speak English.
No.
so you have to learn, and you have to learn fast. And once I learned and blended with the people, that was the best experience.
Whoa, so if you could talk more about that. So when the company sent you out to live in South Taiwan, did you have like a group you were with, or were you on your own working in the company, like finding your own way around town? Like that was it?
Yeah, so thank God I had some people that moved with me because it made it much easier.
Oh, I would hope
we had a
so.
semblance of community.
Okay.
And so we had about 500-600 people that moved from all over the US and even some other countries, Singapore, places in Europe, Africa, you name it.
Wow.
And so we lived together in a sort of compound and had our community, had our events, etc.
Nice. What a crazy experience, man. God, you
Unreal.
sound like that was like, money can't buy that type of experience.
No, I am so grateful, and I made good friends there that I'll stay friends with for life. Good people. Beyond making the most advanced computer chips, another thing they're very good at is hiring good people.
Interesting. So was the hiring process very like strenuous and like stringent?
Definitely. They're pretty selective with their people, and I'm grateful for that because they find people that are good and hardworking, and those are the type of people that I connect with, like you.
That's awesome. Thank you. Well, and if you could walk me through, so one part that's still a little unclear, because you seem like you realize that you're an extrovert, you charge around people, but when did it click with you when you're like, you know what, I need to pivot to this next career. I need this real estate is calling my name. That's like where I belong. When did that idea come to mind and really come to fruition?
Yeah, so great question. So first of all, I want to say I'm super grateful for the experience I had both in Taiwan and in North Phoenix building the factory. At some point, I felt like I needed to be around people more, and I wanted to have the freedom to explore new connections and to help people with their different goals that they have in life. And at some point, I was spending too much time in the factory and in front of a screen for my well-being.
Yeah.
And so I felt, okay, my personality may not be the right fit for this, but I'm so grateful for it, and I can't wait for the next chapter that's more people-centric.
Absolutely. Yeah. And was real estate the only contender? Did you have some other like ideas of different career paths?
Oh, for sure. So I thought of a few different career paths, and after talking to people in different industries, I realized sales is something I want to do because you have freedom to make connections, help people, and it's fantastic for extroverted people. People that love to talk, schmooze.
Yeah, exactly, schmooze. There you go.
And so that's why I pivoted to real estate, and I've loved it because I know the value like the palm of my hand, and so I know I have that value that I can provide for people.
Like you did earlier today. Now I'm going to definitely be looking into the North Phoenix market. Sounds like I don't want to miss out there.
Definitely.
I love it. Well, Gahl, this has been an awesome time. I do have a question. So part of the show is the last guest asks the question that they want you to answer. Yeah. And then once you answer this, if you could ask the next guest a question. So
absolutely.
The last guest asked, in your field, what is the fastest way to make $100,000? If you could just share, insights, techniques on what that actually looks like.
Oh, for sure. So I would say the easiest way is do open houses and do them as much as you can, as often as you can. When I first started, I didn't know who to talk to, who to meet with, and as soon as I started sitting open houses, it was a no-brainer because it costs you nothing. You take some signs that don't cost much, you put them up at different intersections.
Sure.
You have them leading to the house, and you just buy a bunch of water bottles. What does that cost you? $10? Nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
And you just post up there, and you meet people naturally because people will see the open house online, or they'll be driving on the way to a restaurant, and they'll see it on the side of a road. it's all about open houses. That's how you'll build your network very consistently.
Getting that face-to-face connection with the clients too.
Exactly.
I love it. So if someone wanted to make $100,000 specifically though, do you think there's a specific number of open houses, or just get as many as you can?
Good question. So I did something called a 30-day challenge.
Oh, I see. I think I've seen that online.
You may have seen it online. It's pretty smart. So you essentially decide, hey, this whole month, what's next month? May. Decide in May, I'm going to do an open house every single day, whether it's 2 hours or 6 hours. Decide you're going to do it every day, and you'll definitely build your pipeline, and you'll build it fast.
Okay, interesting.
And then, of course, the most important part is the follow-up. Make sure that you are consistent with follow-up and that you show people that you care. That's what matters.
That's it. And then, the money will follow, they say, right?
Exactly.
I love it. Exactly. I love it. Well, thank you for giving that insight. It seems like open houses is the key to money. So if there's any realtors or anyone who wants, to level up your open house game, it looks like
100%.
So lastly, if you could close this out. So what question would you like to ask the next guest? So these are all going to be like real estate professionals, whether they're realtors, title officers, escrow officers, some even lenders. If you could ask them a question, what would you like to ask them?
I would say, so if it's people in the real estate space,
exactly,
hustlers.
Yes, hustlers.
Then I would say, my question is, what is your biggest source of transactions? Your biggest source of clients?
Okay.
What is your biggest source of clients, and what did you do to acquire those clients?
What is your biggest source of clients, and what did you do to get there?
Exactly.
I love it. Well, Gahl, this has been awesome, my brother.
It's been a blast. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you to the team behind the scenes that made it happen as well.
Shout out Jeff, shout out Madison. Let's go.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're signing off. Let's go.